Okay, so Amazon Audible, the Buybox area, project summary. Basically, Amazon Audible was, it was a merger first. Amazon is one of the top ranked. It's the leading e-commerce web store in the world. Audible it's the leading e-books store in the world. Amazon acquired Audible, and since then Audible has been a conduit for ebooks, which Amazon again started as a ebook store. So it's kind of bringing back the history of that. The current biggest challenge right now for that project is to make sure that Audible stands on its own as has the latest gadgets and implementations of personalization the way any e-commerce store should, so that it has the latest basically bells and whistles for e-commerce. In this area we looked at Buybox, that particular area within the customer experience, and then we saw how the user experience fit within that. So we had to first quickly synthesize. On the team, I was a member of a team of about 8, and we were part of a larger team, but we focused on this area of the product in this update. And I worked with other designers, a director, and other UX designers as well, and someone from marketing on this team. Like in many other consulting roles, which is different from designing, the consultants, like in many other roles, I landed running. So pretty much everything was in motion, kind of high stakes, and had to kind of move around quickly, and basically land running to be able to quickly identify what is needed, and quickly identify solutions, and be able to fit in within the culture as well, to provide the right subject matter experience and the right consulting experience, the right problem solving solutions, all that stuff to find the right solutions, the right direction and strategy for this. The discovery involved some background research on Amazon's their brand, their style, their patterns. It also involved some background research on Audible as well. Since Amazon is a leader, don't really have to look so much outside if they're beating the competition. It's still not good to know some latest design trends and styles. The big challenge here in discovery, what was learned from the research, the analysis was learned that the big challenge was to try to get some of Audible's brand style updated according to and fitting within Amazon's larger brand. So kind of the merging of two brands and the merging of two styles to get to this fix. And again, the biggest challenge of the product and why marketing was involved was to provide a new way to increase conversions. So in the customer experience, you can kind of see how this all works, looking at different customer segments. But when it comes to the user experience, it's not as sophisticated as marketing in this instance, with the customer experience showing more than just the intuitive design. You also need the content to speak to different customers. Again, content is extremely important when you're not talking about just words, but when you're talking about offers. It's one of the most important things you can probably have on a page, is that content that when it speaks to price or offer or promotion, that's where the content really is one of the most important things you can provide. So fitting that into the experience, that was one of the challenges and one of the things we really tried to focus on. the design, so that's part of the discovery. Another thing from the discovery is working within a department, and then working with other departments, and then finding a solution to merge all these things together that was minimally invasive on the back end, that used minimalization in the latest UX design trends. So those are other challenges. So the solution that we come up with is to use a prototype to help communicate with other departments, since it's kind of our job not to just come up with the ideas, but also communicate them in ways that make sense, and also in ways that influence other teams quickly and make decisions faster. So we ended up building a prototype. There were little challenges with that also. The prototype had to be front end only. We couldn't have access for security reasons to the back end, and we had to maintain that. So built the front end, showed just the area that we recommended for the changes. So marketing came to us with certain requirements. We came back where we really believe that we can make those solutions happen. And then we kind of came together to come up with a solution, and we illustrated it with the prototype. Prototype ended up being approved and moving forward, and today it's being used. So that was a positive outcome. It's still being used over. It's currently on there, and it's brought some success with conversions. These are not real metrics, but it just kind of shows an example of what those real metrics would look like. So they stayed, and that was just a solution to try to kind of needle in the haystack, come up with an update that affected the whole system. So again, this challenge comes up a lot when you have a design and you are leading in the space. Any sudden changes, any major changes can really affect a lot of revenue dollars. So that's one of the first challenges too that was brought up, that is consistent with updating a platform that's already doing very well. You want further solutions to make the platform better, further updates. You don't want to run the risk of losing. That's why there's always risk when involved in some of these things, and you have to be very careful and analyze various ideas and solutions.